good morning. It's a beautiful sunny morning here, as you can see. I'm still trying to figure out all the logistics of how I'm gonna make these lives work. As you can see, the angle's a little bit awkward, so that's something that will be that hopefully I'll be able to sort out soon. So what we are doing today is we're gonna make this beautiful Shell Waterfall. There you go. How pretty is that? And it's really easy. Seriously, almost anyone can do it. You could probably even do this with the kids, which is always fun. You know how I like to make my crafts, so most people can do it. So how beautiful is that? We got a little waterfall going on. All right, so that's what we're doing today, and it's all dollar store stuff, so it's once more super easy to get your hands on for the most part. All right, so what we'll start out with is I just got a clear glass plate, actually, from the dollar store. I was looking at there was like this small soap dish that would be cute for doing a smaller one and stuff like that. So it doesn't really necessarily matter the shape or size of it. Like, you can really make it work with just about anything. So you really just need something that's going to be a base. And actually on one video I saw, they actually even used glue as a base. So they used it on like a parchment paper so they could just take it off. And so that's what they use for their base. I'm not quite that brave though. All right, so I just took the sticker off the bottom, all right? And what I did, I don't know how well you guys can see it because my lighting is really hard to see, but I ended up, oh, I missed gluing one on. Okay, so if you can see, there's a little bit of color down there. And so I also wanted to experiment to do two different ways of doing it. So, so this was the other way where you're able to see the gems a lot better. Where this one, those gems are covered up a bit, and so you're just kind of getting a little bit of that color in the glue. All right, so I'm going to do half one way, half the other, so then you guys can see. And if you're having trouble seeing, remember, just swipe your comments to the right and you'll be able to see, okay? All right, there we go. All right, so got these lovely gems from the dollar. Oh, not upside down. That's how I have it open. So we got the gems from the dollar store. And I believe I used about 24 the first time, so it's really up to you how many you use. And you can place them all on and decide how you want it to look. Or you could just do one color if you just want one color coming through. If you notice, they have a bit of a bump, and then one side's a little bit flat. So if you can see that, this one's a bump, that's a flat, and so I put all the flat sides down. All right, so this one has a lot more white in it. My husband's coming to grab something. All right. So got my glue gun, and I actually found if you're working with the smaller glue guns, it's almost helpful to have two of them going because we use so much glue in this one, especially if you end up doing the all covered in glue. It's so much easier because then you're not waiting for it to heat up, because these smaller ones, they're not as fast. So if you have, you know, a regular size glue gun, it will make this so much faster and easier. He's still hunting for something. All right, so I have it all kind of, you know, roughly laid out how I want it. And then I'm just going to glue them each down. You know, just work on one side and move across. Make sure you can see. Here we go. Work on one side and move across, and then you'll have less strings on top of your gems. Okay, so we're just going to move across. Move across. Super easy, especially because most of them are the same color. And so you can do it pretty fast once you get a groove for it. All right. Did you find what you're looking for, honey?
It's down.
The internet is down? Oh, hopefully y'all can still see this. Fingers crossed. All right. My husband has been doing a lot of schooling at home, and so that's why it's kind of important that our internet doesn't go down on him. Alright, so look how fast that is once you get going. Alright, so luckily I had, so this one package was enough to only do two of them. So it wasn't quite enough for the three. If you look, I have quite a big gap area. Okay? Alright, so once more I'm going to show you half and half of how to do the two different kinds. Alright. Alright, so the first one, Here, I got a little bit of glue in the middle. All right, so these big gaps we're gonna wanna fill no matter which way we do it, okay? So just start filling in some of the gaps, and that's why it's really good to have a second glue gun on hand, is because, see, that one isn't pushing out anymore. And so I have my backup one, and I'm just going around filling in some of the gaps. Oh, and that one needs more glue. Actually, the other one needed more glue too, and so we use quite a bit of glue sticks. Actually, that's why I'm a little bit later than I'd planned. Normally, I do my lives at 9, and unfortunately, I used so much glue in the first one that I had to go out and get more. So there is, let's see, there's 20 in each package from the dollar store. They're the little glue sticks. And that's probably enough to do one. All right, so then what I'm doing is I'm just filling in the gaps and going from one to the other. So we want nice lines. Try not to drag your glue gun, because so what happens here, I'll do a little example. So if you are just letting it fall, see how like nice and smooth that line is? Maybe you can tell, maybe you can't. But as soon as you start dragging, then it's gonna look more like a little bit rougher, more mechanical, you know, and you want it to kind of look more flowy because we're doing water, right? So try to not drag it, but just kind of more hang it over. Okay, and so just filling in gaps, going along in the circle. So this is kind of more how, where you have the gems showing one over here. All right, so then on this side, we're gonna do the same thing. We're filling in the gaps. Okay, add a glue stick, and that one, switch. All right, and so, got a pile of dry glue. All right, so filling in the gaps a bit. Okay, and then what you want to do, if you're doing the full fill, is you want to start filling on top of it too. And the key to that I found is, once more, don't drag your glue gun. You know, make sure you keep it a little bit off of it, so then it's falling and landing kind of a little more smooth. And you want to do it here. You want to make sure that as you're doing the next row that it's touching the row before, so then you're not getting gaps in it. Okay? Alright, so once more, this glue gun isn't as good as the other one. And once more, if you have a bigger glue gun, this will be so much easier, so much faster, and it depends on which way you want to do it. Alright, so that's a quick example of how to do the water, the base at the bottom, right? Okay, so we're just going to set this one aside and start working on this one. That's going to show us the gems instead of cover the gems. And let me quickly glue on that one shell. I thought I had them all glued down. We'll get that glued down so then it doesn't fall when I show you guys things. There we go. All right, so we got our base all ready, all dried. And I went to the dollar store and they had lots of different shells, okay? So this one is similar to the one that I worked with. You know, it has a bit of reds, a bit of orange and brown in there. And then this one I kind of thought was pretty, and that's all white, so I'm going to use that on the one that that we just started. And then I really like this one too, because if you can see, I'll pull them out, but it has all different kinds of shapes in there, so that will give it a little bit more dynamics to your waterfall. All right, and let's get this open. Oh, this one's tied a little bit better. Oh, come on. All right, might need to get some scissors for this one. Oh, no, there we go. Just a regular knot, but kind of got stuck in. All right. And there's actually a couple other things that I thought of that might be fun to use for the base. If you do the glue, and then you can use some sand on it before it dries. And so I thought that was a good idea. This is just black sand, once more from the dollar store. I believe they have like 2 or 3 different colors, so that's fun. And another idea I thought would be really fun, especially with the kids, is this is like super fine, almost like a snow sparkle. And I was like, that would be so much fun to make it magical, you know. When you're working with the kids, it's always fun to add a little magic in there. All right, and so what I did was I dumped out all my shells. See, look at all these ones. I want to show you guys the ones that I found. How cute are those? So I might even take a couple of those and put them on the other ones because the other ones didn't have as many. And if you get one with so many of those, because it seems like almost half the bag, so I won't have enough like flat ones to work with. So we might have to open one of the other packages just to get a little bit more for working on the base of the waterfall. Okay, these ones are kind of stuck. There we go. And all of them are out. Oh, these ones are pretty. Look at that. These ones are really white too. They have a really deep gap in there to work with. All right, so you might want to find some of the really pretty ones and set those aside so then you can put them in prettier places. We have a lot of these white ones, which will be great for making our waterfall, okay? So I actually started mine with the waterfall. Okay, this one looks like it might be a good base for us. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. All right, there we go. All right, once more, if you're having trouble seeing, there's been a lot of people come on, just swipe the comments to the right, and then you'll be able to see what's going on, okay? All right, so I think we'll start. Actually, we have a bit of space. And once more, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? We just need some, you know what? We want a little more rise on this. Let's do this big one, so then it brings it up a little bit for that last spot. And we're just going to glue around the sides. A lot of times with the shells, you'll find that there's only like one little spot that touches. So you just got to try and catch those spots. All right. So just gluing it down nice and easy. If you feel like it needs a little extra glue somewhere, just add a little bit extra so then it stays firm. All right. And then, ooh, a nice fan shell. So that one will be really good for doing our waterfall. So we're just doing a little bit of an angle because we're going to have the water falling off it, right? All right. Oh, a little more on this side. And switching beacons. All right. And then we're going to do another one. You know what? I think I am going to open another bag because, like I said, we need just a few more of those flat ones, because if they're all big and deep like that, then the waterfall will be huge and will end up being, you know, kind of too tall for most of the dishes that you'll find to work with. All right, get this one open. We got lots of options. All right. Oh, look at that one. That one's real nice. All right. So what I did was I just we're just laying it over top, and it's once more just to give the next layer so then it's on a separate level, okay? So we're going to put the glue on this one this time, and then wherever it hits. All right. So that's going to be a pretty good waterfall we got going on there. All right. And then we pick one that we want it fanning off of, maybe a good deep one, and you'll want to kind of turn them so then they come off different ways. So I think that one might be good there. And so I did, I think 3 levels for mine. 1, 2, 3, maybe a 4th. All right, so that's good for that one. And we're going to go for another fan type one. Oops. All right, and we're just going to add the glue on the bottom here. Second glue gun. All right. All right, so we got that. And just pick whichever one we want next. Oh, that one's pretty dark actually. So it's really up to you, however you want to do it. All right, this one ended up pretty tall because of that bottom bump one. So I think that's probably high enough for us. And we can always add another one afterwards if you decide once the other shells are on that you want to add another one. It's super easy to just keep on adding. All right, and so what I like to do is I like to lay it out and see how I like them before. Find a couple of more plain ones. whether you want them up or down, and just kind of set them around. Oh, that's kind of neat. You see that one? Pretty. All right, keep a couple of prettier ones that you want to stand out to the side maybe. All right. Have them going every which way. That's why it's great to have kids, because sometimes we start getting too perfectionist and then it looks like too mechanical instead of like nature. So it's really fun to have the kids kind of fix our trying to be perfect. All right. Oh, that one's a good one. All right. So just simple layout. All right, and then like I said, you just kind of find some of your favorites that look really nice and add them here or there, and then you just glue them down, and we have, of course, some of our super pretty ones. Look at that one I just found in there, okay? I'm gonna add that in there, and a couple of little ones. You could even do a cute one here at the top. Maybe in there or just resting out of there. Here, that one's a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to glue this down later so then we can finish up our live, but how beautiful is that? And so you guys can decide which one you like better, whether you like being able to see the gems or whether you like the gems all covered up. All right, and then I'm going to show you how to do the waterfall part, okay? So we're going to not glue this one down quite yet, okay, because we want to do the water in it first. All right, like this. And remember, these other shells around aren't glued down right now, but they're super easy. You're just gluing the edges, making sure that, you know, they're not moving. All right, so this is how, make sure you guys can see and I can still do it. All right, so we're going to start at the top. Make sure you guys can still see. All right, we're going to start at the top and fill that top with a bit of glue, not all the way to the brim of it, but we're just going to fill it up with glue. You know, kind of, once more, you don't want to do any dragging, so then you don't have all the, like, those peaks and stuff like that. We want it to be nice and soft, flowing water, right? Right, and anytime you've got some where you're about to let go, just go ahead and hang it off. Go make sure you're moving it down. All right. All right. And then you kind of look at what place is a lower spot on it. And that's where we're going to want to do our runoff to the next level. Right? So go like this. So you're coming from the top and down to the next one. Okay? And that will begin to fill in. All right. All right, and we're gonna switch up glue guns again. All right, and so then you go to the next one, you fill it in. That's where a lot of glue comes in. Well, I ran out this morning. All right, we fill that in, and once more, we're gonna look at where we want the water to flow. All right, fill in the next one. And this does take a little bit of time, but I mean, it's still only 10-15 minutes. I mean, it's still a pretty quick craft. Or of course, once you add in kids, you know, that will definitely add in some time. Fill that in there. Oh, hi Regina and Bernadette. It's good to see you guys on here. All right, so we got that part filled in, and then we're gonna have the water coming off the edge here and going down. So filling it in and dragging it down. All right, and okay. Oh no, that was a big mess. Okay, here we go. And I learned a really great tip just a bit ago about all the extra strings with glue guns. So you actually just use a blow dryer and it will help melt all those strings away. All right, and then we have all of these going right down into our water. So we're on that lower level now. We're gonna add a little bit and then add the strings going down. And so you want to do that before you're adding in all these shells. And so we're not going to glue those down right now. Going to do our waterfall. Okay. Oh. See, and that's why I've got all these shells in the way, but I still want you guys to see what it'll look like when it's done. Okay. All right, and then, like I said, for all these strings, you can collect them all, pick them all, or you can grab a blow dryer, and that will work amazingly too. All right, so kind of holding the shells kind of in place, and there you go. All right, so let me know which one you guys like better, whether you like it with the gems or whether you like just the hint of the gems coming through. And if you guys end up making it, I would love to see a picture of it. Like, let me know what you did, whether you use sparkles or sand or shells, or lots of people use stones too, so you could use stones for the base part around here, and then still use the shells as the waterfall. And yeah, so that's it. It's that easy, and like I said, anyone can do it. Let me know for sure if you guys do it with your kids, because that's one of my favorite things, is when somebody messages me and they're like, hey, I did it with my kids and it was so much fun. I'm like, yes, that's so much fun. All right, so if you guys want to see some more videos, more crafts that I do, you can check out Lives with Kristal. That will be one line. And so, oh, that might be backwards for you. I might need to write it backwards for the next one. Let me know if it's backwards so I can fix it. And then if you just want to see what I'm all about, what I do hashtag Kristal Caywood, which is also it'll be in the post, so you'll be able to just click it. But if you don't know how to do that, go ahead up to the search bar, go hashtag Kristal Caywood, and you'll see all the many things that I do. And I think that's everything. All right, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and post them, and hopefully we'll see you guys next Tuesday. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye bye.